So really good predictions with Monero and silver going against the trend again when we said Bitcoin was going to crash and said Monero would rise, laughed at, but that's been the case. I think we're up about 700% since our $100 prediction. And likewise with silver, massive moves.
Yes, Monero has moved rather nicely. I think it may have been between 100 and 150 when we first
Mm.
recommended it, and it did get almost up to 800 about a week ago. I think the high was 797. It's fallen back a bit down to sort of 650 now. I would say, looking at the chart, it's got it's got strong upward momentum. So it may well be when it's back down testing the moving averages, it's still worth a punt. It's still good for the deal.
Exactly, yeah. And you made a very good point off the call is that, Monero is different to the other privacy coins because it's actually always making new time highs. And we've been constantly pushing, wait until it comes back to the moving averages. Even when Monero's at 400, we were saying, wait until it comes back to the 200 moving average. I mean, that happened in August and it bounced very nicely off the 200. Then it rose from 250 up to 800. And now we're kind of in the middle between the high and the 200 moving average. But
Yes,
yeah,
and there's certainly a strong trend to move into privacy coins,
absolutely.
and I think the big question is why is that happening? Are people waking up to the fact that Bitcoin is not private, and
Mm.
even to the extent that different Bitcoins can have different values, because if the authorities flag certain Bitcoins, that Bitcoin is tainted then forever, and it can't move on to certain exchanges or sold for fiat, for example.
Yeah.
So that is something that can't happen with Monero,
Mm.
which is why some people say it's the coin of choice for criminal networks. But in these days when we're all looked at as potential criminals,
Mm.
maybe you have to think like a criminal.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've been pushing that sort of stuff for the longest period of time. That's pretty much what our whole channel is about, is getting into privacy, protecting your own assets. I mean, it leads on to a whole other video, but that's definitely the thing that, I think what's the saying? Go woke, go broke, and we're on the opposite end of it, saying like protect yourself, don't trust anyone. And
Don't trust anyone, no matter
mm,
whether you're I don't understand people that have got favorite politicians because I think they're all a waste of space. But uh, even if your favorite politician gains power, the state still hates you. The state
yeah.
is still going after you. The state is still there. They're still going to rob you through taxes. So you have to organize your life
Mm,
totally out with the state. And if you want to have privacy in the crypto realm,
mm.
there are several privacy coins, but for me, Monero is the strongest choice because it is the one that has been around. It's the one that
Yeah.
it didn't an ICO, for example, where there are lots of founders and
Mm.
lots of
Tainted
pre
holders and stuff and
yeah,
dodgy share
exactly.
structures.
It,
Yeah.
it can't be controlled by big corporates like Bitcoin is controlled by a lot of big holders and the big miners. And the other interesting thing about Monero is you don't need a big servers, a big setup to mine Monero. Anyone with a PC can mine Monero,
Yeah.
and that means it's much more evenly spread out. You don't have all these big miners which effectively have control of it. So again, that's another reason why it it is more sound. And the very fact that Monero has been banned by a lot of European exchanges, for example, the governments hate it.
Suggest that's our mantra, isn't it? So if the state hates it, go for it. That's exactly the thing we
Exactly.
want.
For example, and you could say that, but cash as well.
Mm.
You're not allowed to travel with more than $10,000. Because governments hate
Mm.
cash, which is why, of course, everyone should have a bit of cash
Mm.
hidden away for any
Rainy
unforeseen
day.
expenses,
Mm.
because the government cannot freeze cash. That's
Mm.
why they want everyone to keep their money in bank accounts. They want everyone to have all the transactions done electronically because that way it can be traced. And if it can be traced, it can be taxed and it can be frozen, it can be nabbed. So you have to do the opposite of what all these authorities, so-called authorities,
Mm.
are telling you to do. And I say if you want to be in privacy coins, in my view, Monero is the place to go. And looking at the chart where it fell back from 797 back to 630, 640, whatever it is today,
Yeah.
I think it's probably still worth a buy. And if it goes back into the 500s at some point, it's definitely worth a buy in my view.
Yeah, yeah. And you make really good points about, alternatives. There's not really any alternatives. I mean, we love to push sort of lagging plays. I mean, and you made a good point that Bitcoin was originally thought to be kind of a Monero, actually was private. That's why people didn't really get into Bitcoin in the beginning because they thought it was like uh, you know, a criminal enterprise and being used for those sorts of things. But bizarrely, those are the things that actually are in high demand, and we've been saying that for the longest period of time. And like you said, Bitcoin can be tracked. One Bitcoin is tainted, and they can then forever see it go from wallet to wallet to wallet to wallet. You'll just have issues. I mean, the alternatives that we've seen are, Zcash, which we've never really liked. I mean, I heard loads of people touting it, and then you see, there's issues with founders, and then that causes the price to drop. I mean, you don't want those sorts of issues. You want to have something that's just purely an open source asset play rather than dodgy
Yeah,
session.
you've got Zcash where, according to the founding documentation, a percentage of the mining rewards goes to the corporate entity that set it up. So Zcash is very corporate.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as private as people are being led to believe that it is. I wouldn't be buying Zcash at all.
Yeah, and you were saying that you think that that's probably where the state would want you to actually go. Is if the state were to make a privacy coin and trick everyone to get into one, it'd be something like that with a connection to them.
Yes, and and,
Um,
and of course Zcash hasn't been banned on the European exchanges,
Interesting. Yeah.
whereas Monero has. So I think that goes in Monero's favor.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. I mean, the only other one, if I was to even suggest any sort of alternative, would be Dash, just purely because it looks nice on the chart. But likewise to what you said is, it doesn't make all-time highs. It's had ridiculous highs in 2021 and then fallen down to like all-time lows. But it has moved nicely off its 200 moving average on Thursday last week and rose 300% quite quickly and aggressively. So if you're just buying on the moving averages and seeing it as a trading opportunity, that could be a trading opportunity, but not like a long-term investment like Monero.
Yes,
Um,
for
so yeah,
for speculation that it may be worth it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, absolutely.